All right, the real Dr. Phil with me here. He has been in the West End practicing dentistry for, wow, 46 years. Let's talk about your personal story and what led you to dentistry, Dr. Phil. And that was really when you got your first toothbrush when you were in the first grade. And what
Yeah.
happened prior to that that really shaped you?
Um, it was my teeth, my baby teeth. We ate a lot of sorghum molasses with every meal. And of course, that kind of carbohydrate will have its toll on your teeth. And, and my teeth ended up rotting out, and I hated my teeth. And I wanted to get them out as quick as I could. So I came up with different techniques for getting them out, pulling them out myself. Because you weren't going to go to the dentist every day for a 6-year-old's teeth. They weren't hurting, they were just ugly. So that, what I call it, sensitized. It sensitized me to teeth. I believe that everybody has something that they're sent here to do. Mine was to work on teeth, obviously, because all my major occurrences seem to be involving teeth. When I was in the country, and then when I went to Germany, and um, I worked with two dentists. They put dental clinic right in your elementary school, and my choice was to work with the dentist because by then, teeth had become a more inviting term. It wasn't such a horrible term
Right.
because my permanent teeth grew in and they were just fine.
And up
So
until that point, before the toothbrush, it was a wash rag. You said that you wash
yeah,
your body and you were used to wash your teeth.
didn't have a toothbrush. So Granny told us to wash with a wash rag. Not only our bodies, we took the same wash rag and rubbed our teeth down too.
And
And
then
that
when
was,
yeah, you got a little bit older. You all moved to Germany with your mom when she married and your stepfather. You petitioned to work with the dentists in those
yeah,
military schools. Then you came back to the United States. So dentistry was already heavy, heavy in your mind, even as a little boy. Then there
yes,
were some experiences at dental clinics that you had that you were made to feel lesser than. And that
yeah,
was also a turning point for you.
yeah. It's um, just reassured me that I wanted to be a dentist. I wanted to be a good dentist, somebody that was kind to people and um, didn't make people feel bad from being there.
You said
And
yeah, you realized then that you would treat people differently and better than some of the ways that you felt at those clinics.
yes, yeah, it just wasn't, I couldn't understand it. I mean, we didn't act like that in my family. It wasn't like that in Germany, because those guys were like my buddies.
Mhm.
And then we get back here and it was totally different. It seemed to be a lot of hate. I didn't like it. I wanted to be a dentist so I could be a good dentist.
When you
Yeah.
got back to the United States, you said a lot of when you were in Germany, you didn't feel different because of the color of your skin. When you came back to the United States, you said it became more obvious. And
That's
that I
right.
think is that hate that you're referring to a little bit. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
So how did you go from that to going, okay, dental school? That was your motivating factor to get good grades, all of the above to be able to get into dental school at U of L?
Yeah. I just knew that was what I was sent here to do. I mean, I just felt that inside my spirit, and nothing was going to stop me.
So you get into U of L dental school. You're only one of, I think, of four at that time. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's correct. Dr. Leon French and myself, we were the third and the fourth Black students. And before us, there was Harold Howard and Madeline Hicks. You know,
So
they, they were the ones that were first there.
wow. So that
Yeah,
was in the 70s because you graduated in 77. What was
yeah.
that experience like for you to be only one of four?
Well, you felt isolated. You felt like you were, you kind of stuck out. You just didn't feel like part of the crew. You felt like you felt like a student. They didn't try to keep me from learning, but it wasn't any extra effort, in my mind, and by not having anybody there, or having the majority of people that didn't look like me there, it was difficult, for what I considered I was a young man then. So
I read one account though that I thought I had to love, that there were times that you and your comrade there, I think Leon French,
yeah,
thought you might quit, and there was
yes.
somebody who gave you the motivation not to. Is that correct?
Right,
And
right.
who was that?
Yeah, and we learned that like she and probably many others were watching us and depending on us to make the first moves.
And who was the woman who kind of pushed you all back in and said, "Don't you even think about that? You get your rear end
Her
back
name,
over there."
her name was Catherine McAvaney, and she was in charge of admissions over at the medical school, actually minority admissions. And they were a little ahead of the dental school. So we usually referred to her quite often because that was what she did and she was good at it.
I love that she'd tell you all to get your tails back over there and you weren't quitting. Don't you think of that again? There
And
was
no,
also, oh, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
I said no kind words. She
But you
it
also
made
got
her
that
laugh.
that feeling of self-sufficiency though from your mother. Did you not? That was something she also preached to you.
Yeah, yes. My mom, whatever, excuse me,
Mm.
whatever I wanted to do in life, I could.
So that still gets you teared up thinking about your mom and those messages that she sent to you.
Yep.
I love that. She would be, I'm sure she saw you flourish.
Yes.
I hope she was able to see that.
Oh
Af-
yeah.
Good.
She's still here. She's still here, still preaching.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's a great part of the story that I wasn't
Mhm.
aware of. So she's still with you, and I can
Yeah.
tell you're emotional about it, and I love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how this practice came to you, because that was kind of another one of those divine interventions after you graduated. Was it a financial advisor or somebody said, "I got
Yeah.
to show you something"?
Yeah. That's exactly right. He let me know that he had found an office, and he said that when the tornado came through in 73, the tornado went through his neighborhood, Indian Hills, and he hurt his shoulder, and eventually that same shoulder caused him to retire from dentistry, and he walked out of his office and left it the same way it was when I walked into it.
Wow.
All the instruments were set up and ready to go. So I walked right in, 25th and Market, and that's where I've been for the last 46 years.
46 years in that spot. Is that incredible to you?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And you have been a staple there. You wanted to go back to the neighborhood there and serve. That was important to you.
That was important, and that's why it was so phenomenal that the office, when he told me where the office was, I was flabbergasted. I had no words to tell him other than thank you. Because it was exactly where I visioned that I would be practicing, deep in the heart of the West End.
And what is the lesson that you hope to teach young people in that community about you and your tenacity and sticking to that dream and what you're here for?
Yeah, I went by what was inside of me, all the people that had pushed and cheered for me along the way. Um, you know, I didn't want to let them down, but more important, it was the burn inside of me to do what I know I was sent here to do. And
And you have said that a couple of times, and I want to talk. There is a higher power at work, and you believe people are sent here, be who you were meant to be. And that is
yeah,
kind of one of your mantras.
yes, absolutely. I believe that each one of us along the way get guided into what it is that we were sent here to do. And it's not all about just flipping a coin and deciding, you know, which profession or which job or how your life is gonna be. It's yeah, God puts you in a place where you're supposed to be, and He prepares you before He gets you there.
And you believe this was your purpose all along, was dentistry.
All along. I mean, now that I'm older and I can look back, I can almost see every door open,
Hmm.
you know, and you know, it's a wonderful thing. And because you get up in the morning ready to go, um, bad vision or not, you know, and you go in, and it's always a pleasant, you know. I always say I get to go to work, not I have to go to work.
And that's a huge philosophical difference, isn't it?
It's a big difference.
And I know you're dealing with a couple little eye issues now. We hope you get those taken care of. And how lucky Louisville is to have you. And just with where you've been for 46 years, I read some of the customer reviews and they all love you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. I was shocked. I mean, you know, I had no idea that, you know, and I still get people months later saying that, you know, that they saw the article or they saw, you know, the rating, and that, you know, how high it was. I had no clue. I mean, I just knew that we were in the right place at the right time for where there's such a need, and we did our best, you know, to take care of that need.
You've
And
done a
it's,
terrific job and congratulations on a long and storied career that's still going.
you know, thank you, man.